Lynn is the CEO of Canon Resources.
Thank you. Thank you, Bill, for the opportunity to present. So Canon is a nickel explorer and developer as well. We've got projects in the Northern Goldfields. We've two projects in the Northern Goldfields, Kohlrabi and Fisher East, which I'll talk about in a sec. We floated on the stock market last year in August. We were a spin out of Rox Resources. They put their nickel projects into a new company called Canon. We had an initial market capitalisation of $15 million. We did quite well initially, as you can see on the graph there. We ended up around about 50, 60 cents, and we were in the top 10 IPOs for last year of the 206 or whatever it was. We've come back down a little bit since then, but we're still around about 40 cents. So pretty tightly held share portfolio. There's about 85 million shares on offer. The two projects are Fisher East and Kohlrabi, as I said. They're both nickel projects. We were very lucky when we came on the ASX last year. We ended up with resources in the ground, similar to London. We've got real nickel in the ground that's expandable in our view. So we'll go through that at Fisher East, which is our primary target at this stage. So Fisher East has 116 kilotons of contained nickel at 1.8% nickel. We announced a new resource this week at our Saber project. So that's in that table there. Fisher East has 4 deposits, all on the same contact. They're Campbell style nickel deposits. And Kohlrabi is, it's a little bit similar. It's a intrusive style play, similar to Nova and Julimar, etc., where we have a small resource there called Olympia of around about 9.3 kilotons of contained nickel. That was discovered by Western Mining and BHP in about 2003, and it's a completely underdone project, and we're very excited to be working there. However, the Fisher East project is, an order of magnitude more exciting, and that's where we're currently doing most of our work. So Fisher East, it's got 4 deposits: Camelwood, Cannonball, Musket, Saber. They're all similar. They're all komatiitic, basal resources, all sitting on the same contact. They're in an 8-kilometre section. Musket, Cannonball, Camelwood are about 2 kilometres apart, and Saber's 6 kilometres south of Musket. But on the same contact, they're all completely open, and open at depth and open laterally and also open internally. So I'm going to talk about the 2 that we've been doing a lot of work on, which is Musket, this one here, and Saber. So Musket, we put out a resource upgrade earlier this year. It's now 2.4 million tonnes, 1.9% nickel for 45.5 kilotons contained nickel. We've drilled that down to about 600 metres. It's a vertical plunging or semi-vertical plunging channel. These are channelized komatiite, base of komatiite flows. This channel here is around about 400 metres wide. So basically the lighter pink colour, either side of it, that's around about 400 metres. Now internally there's a lot of areas that are undrilled. We think there's probably resource in those areas. So look, I've got some grades in there. So that darker pink colour is the indicated resource. It's only there as a function of the drill density. So the sort of grades we're talking about, a bit hard for me to read them from here, but I think they say about 17 metres at 2.1, 17 metres at 2.2, and 16.2 metres at, 2.3% nickel. That's very typical for the centre of the ore zone. Those grades, probably not the thickness is apparent there, but the grades are certainly there. So the grades are around about 2 metres, 2.5 metres there, and they continue down to the bottom of our drilling there, which is around about 600 metres. So it's a very it's got a high deportment of the nickel-bearing minerals, which is pentlandite. It's a disseminated ore body with some basal massive sulphide. So the massive sulphide, typically the best hole here at Muscat would be around about 0.9 of a metre. That massive sulphide is going around about 20% nickel. And the disseminated style mineralisation, which is on this slide here, this is disseminated within komatiite. This is fairly typical. So that particular hole's bulking out at 1.9% nickel. So this is typically what we get in all four deposits. So just looking at the downhole EM. So downhole EM is also in the central part. I haven't shown it here because we've drilled over the top of it, and I wanted to demonstrate the downhole EM potential on the northern side there. So we've got strong downhole EM plates, around about 8,000 Siemens for the geologists. It's probably indicating that we've got continuation of the massive sulphide down that northern side. It's very lightly drilled. And what I've done here is I've highlighted those areas where there's still blue sky potential. So I've coloured it blue to demonstrate those areas outside the resource where we feel that the resource could be expanded. And we've got a drilling program that's current where we're targeting those areas. So all those drill holes we'll do in the next few months. All of them are in the blue areas, and all of them are outside the current resource. So the current resource of 45.5 kilotons, we're targeting an expansion within those blue areas of around about 15 kilotons. So, you know, we're hoping this resource will be of the size of around about 60 kilotons in that sub 600 metre zone. Our expectation is this is a large channelized system. It's been deposited on kilometre scale. So we expect these this mineralised envelope would continue at depth, and you know, we obviously will target that with future drilling once we sort out this infill here. So moving on to Saber, which we put out a maiden resource this week, 1.8 million tonnes at 1.4% nickel for 24.5 kilotons of contained nickel. This is a very large channel. It's around about 700 metres wide. Again, it's disseminated style mineralisation in komatiite. We're getting basal massive sulphide as well from time to time. This is a little bit lower grade than the other deposits, but the drill spacing here is very wide. So it's currently at around about 80 metres, which in my view is a little bit too wide for us to determine what's exactly there. And again, we feel the Saber deposit is underdone in terms of drilling. So late last year, Canon did an air core program, regional air core program along the contact, including over the top of this. It hadn't been done previously. We got a very strong PGE anomaly over the top of it, but it's depleted in nickel. So the nickel values were around about, in the weathered part I'm talking about, the sub 60 metre zone. The nickel values were sort of towards background level for the komatiite, but it showed a very strong PGE anomaly up to 680 ppb over 4 metres. Background would be around about 20. And that was a series of 3 peaking zones there as shown. We feel that what they represent is high-grade zones, potentially high-grade zones within the ore. And some of them, like the southern one and the northern one, are completely undrilled. So again, I've demonstrated those zones where we feel that the mineralisation may continue and we may get high grade, and we're going to target those areas as well. So at this stage, this is a drill program that's currently underway. These are diamond holes, so most of these holes are in the blue zone, and we'll finish this program in about 2 or 3 weeks, and we're going to know what's there. So as I said, this has only been drilled to about 300 metres total depth at its deepest point. We're targeting around about 10 to 15 kilotons extra potential contained nickel. So, you know, we're looking at this one around about 40 kilotons as a target in the sub 300 range, and we fully expect this will continue at depth as well. So in summary, you know, we've got at Fisher East, we've got 4 existing resources. They're all similar, they're all disseminated style mineralisation, they're all in very wide channels. Mineralisation is extensive in them. They are internally expandable, and they're also plunging at depth, and that's completely undrilled, and our expectation is that the mineralisation will continue, and obviously we're going to be targeting those zones as well. So what we've done in the last 6 or 9 months, you know, we've put an increase in the Muscat resource by 44%, and we've delivered a maiden Saber resource of 24.5 kilotons. We're currently drilling. We've got a diamond rig stationed there. That'll be there well, we've booked it for the rest of the year. So we expect to do around about 7,500 metres to mid-year of targeted diamond drilling. And as I pointed out, all our diamond drilling will be in areas of the resource that have potential resource that have yet to be drilled. You know, we have high expectations that these resources will be growing substantially, and the field is a very significant one, and one that is worth paying attention to. So we still only have a market capitalisation of $35 million, and you know, it would be my view, which every managing director and CEO would say the same thing, but it's my view that this would be a very good and attractive investment. So thank you very much, and if anybody wants to find out further information about the project or talk about it in detail, we have a booth here, and I'm happy to go through it with anyone. Thank you.